Have you ever wondered where is the cast of Star Trek Voyager, 1995? In this video, you will see how have the actors of Star Trek Voyager changed. You will know their real names and age. I will show you how they looked then, in 1995, and what's with them now, in 2025. Okay, let's go. Jennifer Lien as Kes, born August 24, 1974. Joining the Starfleet and Maquis crew aboard Voyager was Kes, a young alien woman with mild telepathic powers and just a 9-year lifespan. And played by Jennifer Lien. Unfortunately, her character never quite gelled, and in Season 4 Lien was written out to make way for Jeri Ryan as 7 of 9. Leaving the series in 1997, Lien's career stalled in front of the camera, though she did manage a role in American History X, alongside Star Trek Deep Space Nine star Avery Brooks. However, most of her subsequent work came in animation, with voice work. Unfortunately, Lien pretty much left acting shortly after that. She married filmmaker Phil Wang and started a family but has faced personal problems along the way. While struggling to deal with her mental health, Lien was arrested in 2015 for indecent exposure and again in 2018 for driving without a license. Today she is 51. Manu Intiraymi as Icheb, born April 22, 1978, late in Season 6 of Star Trek Voyager. A storyline saw the ship rescue a stranded vessel commanded by a group of wayward Borg children. At the conclusion of the story, 4 young drones join the crew, becoming a surrogate family of sorts to 7 of 9 after jettisoning their Borg identities. The eldest of them is Icheb, a teenager who becomes like a brother to 7, played by actor Manu Intiraymi. The young actor went on to make 11 appearances across the final 2 seasons of the show. When Voyager ended in 2001, Intiraymi continued acting, with his largest role coming in One Tree Hill. There he played Billy, a local drug dealer, in a recurring role in 2012. Further projects were mostly independent films like Fifth Passenger in 2017 and Hell on the Border, a 2019 Western starring David Gyasi, Ron Perlman, and Frank Grillo. In 2017, Intiraymi came under fire for criticizing fellow Star Trek actor Anthony Rapp, who'd made accusations of sexual assault against Kevin Spacey. Now he is 47. Tim Russ as Lieutenant Commander Tuvok, born January 22, 1956 in Washington. Actor Tim Russ had already made a few guest appearances in Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and even the film Star Trek Generations, before joining the main cast of Star Trek Voyager in 1995. Russ became a fan favorite as Vulcan Lieutenant Commander Tuvok, who was later promoted to Lieutenant Commander. However, after 7 seasons playing the stoic, emotionless Tuvok, Russ kept busy with a variety of different roles, mostly guest starring in popular TV hits. This includes guest spots in everything from and Law and Order, Criminal Intent, to episodes of Hannah Montana and Without a Trace. He even appeared on the big screen with a small role in Live Free or Die Hard in 2007. Since then, the actor has kept busy with countless roles in such as Criminal Minds NCIS, New Orleans, Supergirl, and The Good Doctor. More recently, Russ turned up in an episode of Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek Homage, The Orville, and in 2023 voiced Lucius Fox in the animated film Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Now 69, Russ has one child, Roxann Dawson as B'Elanna Torres, born September 11, 1958. On Star Trek Voyager, the role of Chief Engineer was filled by Roxann Dawson, who played half Klingon, half-human B'Elanna Torres. Starting out as a Maquis rebel, she eventually becomes one of the most important members of the crew, as well as a wife and mother. Following her run on the series, Dawson had just a handful of on-screen roles, which included single episodes of The Closer and Without a Trace. That's because, like her franchise cohort Jonathan Frakes, Dawson moved behind the camera to become a director full-time, getting her start overseeing episodes of Voyager first. Dawson moved on to helm entries of Star Trek spin-off Enterprise, before broadening to other shows across television. Since 2005, Dawson has directed episodes of some of the biggest hits on TV, including Lost and The OC in 2006. 8 episodes of Cold Case, a trio of Heroes episodes, and more. Married twice, she's the mother of 2. Roxann Dawson is 67. Garrett Wang as Ensign Harry Kim, born December 15, 1968, despite never seeing a rise in rank and perpetually remaining a low-level ensign. Harry Kim, played by Garrett Wang, often played a crucial role in defeating many of the enemies the crew would face in the Delta Quadrant. When Star Trek Voyager left the airwaves, though, Wang bounced around, with his biggest role arguably coming in the 2005 Steven Spielberg-produced miniseries, Into the West. Over the course of his new career, Wang has held moderating duties and hosted panels and events at major pop culture conventions in Montreal, Edmonton, Phoenix, and Denver. According to Wang, his biggest role as a moderator came at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo in 2012, where he interviewed the legendary Stan Lee. He's currently 57. Robert Duncan McNeill as helmsman Tom Paris, born November 9, 1964. Robert Duncan McNeill guest starred in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, as a hotshot pilot who broke the rules and wound up booted from Starfleet. So when producers developed a similar character, they brought in McNeill to play him, resulting in brash, Cavalier Helm Officer Tom Paris. In 2002, after Star Trek Voyager ended, McNeill starred in an episode of The Outer Limits Revival and a few more small roles. However, like Dawson, McNeill left acting not long after the series ended to become a director and producer. Starting with 4 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise. Married twice, the 61-year-old is the father of 3. Ethan Phillips as Neelix, born February 8, 1955, another actor to appear on Star Trek, before taking a leading role on Voyager. Ethan Phillips played the quirky alien chef Neelix for all 7 seasons of the show's run. A well-established veteran, his TV roles prior had included dramas like NYPD Blue, and family hits like Doogie Howser. MD. Unfortunately, his role on Voyager never translated to big-time success after. Though he hardly struggled for work, that's because he went back to his former career as a character actor. In the ensuing years, Phillips could be seen all over the dial and beyond, with parts in Touched by an Angel and 8 Simple Rules, among many others. Even popping up in a guest starring role in an episode of Star Trek Enterprise in 2002. Now 70. He was married to Patricia Cresswell from 1990 until her death in 2022. They have 3 children, Scarlett Pomers as Naomi Wildman, born November 28, 1988. Plenty of TV shows have added a kid to shake up the status quo late into their run. And Star Trek Voyager was not immune to this trope. In addition to bored kids like Icheb, Samantha Wildman, the newborn daughter of a crewperson, became a recurring character beginning in Season 5. Played by Scarlett Pomers, she'd wind up in 16 episodes, including a few where she played a leading role. In the aftermath of the end of the series, Pomers appeared in the Julia Roberts film, Erin Brockovich, and in 2001 joined the cast of the sitcom, Reba. For 6 seasons Pomers starred as Kira Hart, daughter of the show's star played by Reba McEntire, appearing in a whopping 103 episodes. It was only Pomers' second regular role but also her last on-screen performance. When that series concluded, Pomers essentially retired from acting. Unfortunately, her exit from the stage was at least partly due to her ongoing battle with an eating disorder. Now she is 37. Jeri Ryan as 7 of 9. Jeri Lynn Ryan was born on February 22, 1968 in Munich, West Germany, though she didn't arrive on Star Trek Voyager until Season 4. Jeri Ryan arguably became the series' biggest star. She came in to help liven up a series that was struggling and joined the cast as a former Borg drone named 7 of 9. It proved to be just what the series needed and a career-defining role for Ryan. One of the few cast members of Voyager to parlay her role into bigger success. Ryan immediately joined the David E. Kelley legal drama, Boston Public, after the series ended. Smaller recurring roles came after, including multi-episode stints on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, 2.5 Men, and Leverage. Ryan, 57, has been married twice and is the mother of 2. Kate Mulgrew as Captain Catherine Janeway, born April 29, 1955. It's no secret that Kate Mulgrew wasn't the first choice to play Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. Academy Award nominee Genevieve Bujold was famously cast first but filmed only a few scenes before quitting the show during the production of the series pilot. leading to Mulgrew being brought in. Today it is difficult to imagine anyone else in the role, though it's hardly Mulgrew's only iconic TV series. Following the show's conclusion in 2001, Mulgrew took a few years off from acting, returning with a small role in the 2005 film, Perception, with Piper Perabo. After a guest appearance on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, Mulgrew snagged a recurring role on The Black Donnellys in 2007 alongside Jonathan Tucker and Olivia Wilde, and another in the short-lived NBC medical drama, Mercy, in 2009. Of course, Mulgrew found a major career resurgence in 2013, starring in one of Netflix's earliest forays into original programming. Orange is the New Black. In the series she stars as Red, an inmate at a women's prison, a role that would earn her an Emmy nomination. She married twice. She's the mother of 3 and is 70. Robert Beltran as Commander Chakotay. Born November 19, 1953. Sitting in the chair next to Captain Janeway for 7 seasons was Robert Beltran as Commander Chakotay, a former Maquis first officer. Though Beltran counts his heritage as Latino, Chakotay was actually the first Native American series regular in the franchise but was sadly underused, a fact that the actor has commented on. Following Star Trek, Voyager, Beltran's work on the small screen was mostly limited to guest appearances, popping up in episodes of CSI, Miami, and Medium in the 2000s while filling roles in movies like Taking Chances, Fire Serpent, and Manticore. Beltran's first recurring part on TV after Voyager was in the series Big Love, starring Bill Paxton and Jean Tripplehorn. However, over the next decade, Beltran seemed to move away from acting, with a sparse handful of minor roles. Now 72, the actor is the father of 1 child. Scarlett Pomers as Naomi Wildman. Born November 28, 1988. Plenty of TV shows have added a kid to shake up the status quo late into their run. And Star Trek, Voyager, was not immune to this trope. In addition to bored kids like Icheb, Samantha Wildman, the newborn daughter of a crewperson, became a recurring character beginning in Season 5. Played by Scarlett Pomers, she'd wind up in 16 episodes, including a few where she played a leading role. In the aftermath of the end of the series, Pomers appeared in the Julia Roberts film, Erin Brockovich, and in 2001 joined the cast of the sitcom, Reba. For 6 seasons Pomers starred as Kira Hart, daughter of the show's star played by Reba McEntire, appearing in a whopping 103 episodes. It was only Pomers' second regular role but also her last on-screen performance. When that series concluded, Pomers essentially retired from acting. Unfortunately, her exit from the stage was at least partly due to her ongoing battle with an eating disorder. Now she is 37. Robert Picardo as the Doctor. Born October 27, 1953. For 30 years, the world of science fiction meant one thing when the moniker of the Doctor was uttered. But that all changed in 1995 with the launch of Star Trek, Voyager. There, actor Robert Picardo, already known for antagonistic roles in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and Inner Space, starred as the Doctor, the nameless holographic chief medical officer aboard the Voyager. Known for his offbeat humor and cantankerous attitude, he was played to perfection by Picardo, and it would become the actor's signature role. Still, even after leaving sickbay as the Doctor, Picardo had a healthy career, moving quickly into a role in The Leon's Den, starring Rob Lowe and Kyle Chandler in 2003. In 2023, the actor made a guest appearance on the Quantum Leap revival playing Dr. Woolsey, whose name is a clear tribute to his 2 biggest TV roles. Now 72, he's been married once and has 2 children.